Well, after that matchup, ladies and gentlemen, we continue things on. We saw something that we have yet to see here tonight. We also are going to see something else that we have yet to see here in Texas Contender Series. As we go into six-man competition, we will see Mr. Mundo teaming up with the Dream Team in his debut matchup here at Texas Contender Series in six-man action. As you hear the familiar music of the current new Texas Pro Tag Team Champions, as they were able to retain those championships at Already Platinum against Just Vibin. That Dreamboat Danny King, the Dreamkeeper Casey Kareem, and Mr. Mundo make their way out here.
They are the new Texas Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Dreamboat Danny King and the Dreamkeeper Casey Kareem. They are the Dream Team.
Someone making stink eyes at Mr. Mundo and Danny King.
Well, we saw Mr. Mundo in action at Already Platinum, as I mentioned, this being his Texas Contender Series debut. And a great showing that he had, a showcase of power for Mr. Mundo. I got a moment to speak to Danny King before the show, asking a little bit more of Mr. Mundo because, well, frankly, Mr. Mundo wouldn't talk to me at all. But Danny King found Mr. Mundo on his world tour down in El Salvador. The Dream Team found themselves in a bit of a pickle, so to say, and Mr. Mundo was right there, the bouncer at the club they were in, and was able to save them out of harm's way. Danny King enlisting the services of that man. Thus why we see him here at Texas Contender Series. But this man, ladies and gentlemen, definitely making a name for himself here.
Representing the Southside Connection,
Jay Pierce making his way out for this contest. One half of the Southside Connection, his partner BBJ here backstage, showing support for his partner here in this matchup as he tags along with the team that challenged for those tag titles but came up a bit short on Sunday night.
and his tag team partners, the Point of the Lord, Kenny Calypso, Justin, they are Just Vibin.
Now, why don't you get up for this team? You
Hey,
feel that
talk
vibe?
about impartial journalism, Trent.
How could you not when you feel the vibe that Just Vibin puts out here in the HPA?
Well, one, I'm breathless after that last match. And two, I cannot stand these two. And then you throw Jay Pearson on top of that. Absolutely disgusting. At least he's not rapping.
Yet.
Oh, boy.
Danny King right in front of our broadcast table, showing off his new Texas Pro Tag Team title to some fans here in attendance. As you see, Jay Pierce also feeling the vibe that Kenny and Nick put out, even wearing one of the Hawaiian shirts as well. You are. You are. The Dream Team making themselves known to us right here, Dan. As
Hey, between Just Vibin and Axe Manson, they could probably open up a store in the mall.
Malls still exist.
Yeah, don't you go out?
Order from Amazon.
You afraid of people? Are you an introvert, Trent?
I wish I was right now with one person at least.
And you got a match to call.
Oh,
And
Nick.
it's this stacked six-man. Got the tag team champs.
Oh, that you
along
are right
with
about.
Mr. Mundo. First time we're seeing him in a traditional matchup.
As Just Nick has flipped the switch, he is standing square in the ring. He is ready for the bell to ring. As the bell rings, there is no smile on Nick's face right now as he stands across one half of the tag team champions.
Nick and Kenny definitely upset after that loss this past Sunday at Already Platinum, wanting to get some revenge on the Dream Team tonight. Starting off early with some kicks to the leg from Just Nick, as Casey Kareem able to counter with some innovative offense.
Well, Nick was going right after the long legs of the Dreamkeeper. The Dreamkeeper with a long reach, able to gouge the eyes of Nick. And now sending Nick off the ropes. Miss line from KC. There's the speed of Nick right there off the ropes, connecting with a diving clothesline himself. Off the middle rope, headbutt connecting here early. There's a cover. Only a 1 count for Nick as he continues to go to work on the Dreamkeeper.
That was a little bit of miscommunication that caused the loss this past Sunday by Just Vibin at Already Platinum.
KC kicking Nick into the corner. Kenny able to make the tag as KC makes the tag to his partner, Danny King. And the Dreamboat and the man from Planet Dread going at it here as Danny King dishing out some strong punishment here. And, going for the undreamier real early.
No.
And Kenny countered it into a side slam. As the Calypso elbow connects, followed up with a cover from Kenny.
You know, the Dream Team knows what they're doing. They scouted Just Vibin. They've had many encounters with him over the past few months. They know exactly what they've gotten themselves into with this matchup.
Well, that's right. Before their match at Already Platinum, these teams had a series of one-on-one matches between one another, splitting those matchups with 1 victory apiece. However, the rubber match being the tag team title match, that going to the Dream Team as Jay Pierce now coming in quickly with a drop kick to Danny King, retreating to tag in his partner, and now Casey Kareem.
They definitely no love lost between Jay Pierce and Danny King as Casey Kareem enters this matchup. Starting to go to work on Jay Pierce with a whip off into the corner, up and over goes Pierce. Big arm drag. And a drop kick from Jay Pierce.
Sends Kareem into the corner. Flying splash from Pierce. Oh, now it brings Casey center of the ring with a vertical suplex. And now kipping up. And we know, dusting his shoes off there, rolling through, picking Casey up. And Michinoku driver. Cover.
Oh, Casey Kareem, he's got to get out of here. After that huge Michinoku driver from Jay Pierce.
Yeah, this match right here, definitely. Oh, off the ropes, he was going to go. Mr. Mundo right there connects with Jay Pierce.
Hey, that's lack of ring awareness. Do you run right towards Mr. Mundo? I don't think so, Trent.
Well, that definitely being the case, Jay Pierce might take note of that now going forward as KC flying high, dropping the knee across the head. And just draping his knees across Jay Pierce for a cover, but only at 1, of course, as the Dreamkeeper with an armbar brings Pierce into his corner, tagging in his partner as Danny King leaping double axe handle across the back of Jay Pierce. And now using that middle rope as well.
And now we get to see that tag team acumen of the Dream Team. You know, they're champions for a reason. They know how to isolate their opponents in their side of the ring. And Jay Pierce a long ways away from making a tag into one of the members of Just Vibin as Danny King goes to work with those stiff shots to the head of Jay Pierce.
The Dream Team, as you mentioned, Dan, They know exactly how to be champions, securing those championships now for over 2.5 months into their title reign. Long, backstabber from Danny King, followed up with a cover. Again, only a 1 count as Danny King now mounts Jay Pierce. Dan, you mentioned the history between these two, Jay Pierce being the person that had a role in the case of Danny King losing his senses, losing his mind, as we saw Danny King for a time being wearing a mask even. And taking the mask from Jay Pierce in the process, then known as James Lightning.
Talking about losing your mind. Jay Pierce lost his mask and he went crazy, and now he thinks he's some sort of entertainer. I mean, this, I must admit, is entertaining. Mr. Mundo in this matchup now, taking some strikes from Jay Pierce. Mr. Mundo unfazed no matter what Jay Pierce is able to swing at him, and oh, he's goozled.
Breaking out of it with a discus forearm, stunning Mundo off the ropes as Jay Pierce got caught. Look at the strength by Mundo. The former bouncer fall-away slam, sending Jay Pierce clear across the ring.
That big SOS slam sends Jay Pierce into no man's land, exactly where he does not want to be, as he is back into the corner of the Dream Team as Danny King tags back in. Gonna go back to work on Jay Pierce right now.
Danny King tagging in his bodyguard
a little bit.
And Mr. Mundo coming in this matchup. You gotta believe he's gonna get a bonus for participating in this matchup, now getting paid for his services to beat up people as the Bronco Buster now from Danny King.
Consider that Bronco busted.
Rolling out, making a cover. Oh, just Nick coming in as Jay Pierce was quickly kicking out.
You know, Jay Pierce wants to be an entertainer. Danny King is an entertainer. The pop star stomping away on Jay Pierce, making a tag into KC Kareem. They're just dismantling Pierce here.
Pierce in a very vulnerable position now as KC Kareem just stomps on the shoulder. Pierce in no position to make a tag to his partners, but desperately needs to as the Dream Keeper now wearing Jay Pierce down here on the mat. And we know Jay Pierce can utilize those ropes to his advantage, and this is a very wise move by one half of the tag champs to keep Pierce grounded. As these fans here definitely getting behind Pierce, trying to will him back up to his feet. And so as Nick and Kenny on the corner trying to will their partner to get a tag.
That's gonna be a tall task.
Oh, and KC just shoving Nick down.
That's why they're the tag team champs, Trent. Here we go.
Oh, up on his feet is Pierce with a kick to the head. And now going after Mundo with a drop kick and a back elbow for King. Jay Pierce clearing house here.
Casey's on the outside. Everybody's on the outside. This is Jay Pierce's chance to get a tag.
Crawling over, hands and knees. He desperately needs dives, makes the tag to Kenny. KC tagging in King. Oh, Kenny going right after Mundo, drop to the outside. King going home with the double knees. Kenny with a shoulder tackle.
Flying elbow and a drop kick.
Kenny rolling, flying on all cylinders. Oh, Kenny looking for the pineapple slicer, no one home. Danny King now going for Undreamier, has him hooked. Kenny pushing him off, countered. Flying knee to Danny King sends one half of the tag champs down.
Mundo Kareem still reeling on the outside as Kenny is running wild on Danny King. Pineapple slicer.
This time connects. Could this be it? Oh, kick out at 2.
Close call there for the Dream Team, as Danny King was able to kick out of that. Huge pineapple slicer.
European uppercut sending King into the team of Just Vibin as Nick gets the tag in now, the legal man. Atomic drop on King as Calypso and Nick putting King in position as Jay Pierce gets
What
the
are these
tag.
three thinking?
Holding him up is Jay Pierce.
Whoa!
A flying missile drop kick to Danny King. And now Pierce, the legal man, making the cover. Oh, Casey Kareem.
Did you see that?
Swinging in from the bottom rope and breaking up the count. Now Kareem sends Pierce to the apron and followed by Just Vibin, who sends Kareem to the outside. Just Vibin now looking to go to work.
They're setting up Danny King one more time. Oh, what
Nick
is this?
lining up for the Boba Shot Lariat. Oh, pumped on the brakes. We saw that at already Platinum with the miscommunication. Kareem sends Pierce down to the mat. And King shoving Nick into Kenny as
comes
Kenny
Mundo.
now spills to the outside. Mr. Mundo in now on the attack. Slamming him down.
Look at the power of Mr. Mundo.
And Mr. Mundo picking up Pierce. Oh, Dan, I know what this is. Machete by Mr. Mundo. 2 and 3.
night.
Here are your winners, Mr. Mundo and the New Texas Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Dream Team.
An excellent showing by Mr. Mundo and the Dream Team tonight.
Getting the pin for his team. You know a bonus has to probably be in store. My goodness, when you have someone the likes of Mr. Mundo watching your back, the Dream Team believe they can do no wrong. Now that they have brought this enforcer by their side, and yes, raising the hands of the man who got the victory for the Dream Team. My goodness. As we see Danny
Look
King.
at that.
The tag team champs not only retaining the titles at already Platinum,
This Mr. Mundo's a monster.
getting a victory here tonight as you see Just Vibin and Jay Pierce making their way to the back. The Dream Team and Mr. Mundo